Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Pocket Change, the podcast where we talk about reselling things online, trying to make a little bit of extra cash, trying to retire early, or maybe just buy the wife a damn fur coat. If you throw paint on it, I'm going to be freaking pissed. Hey, I'm joined by my co host, Joe. Joe, how's it going?
It's going. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good noon, good afternoon, good evening, whichever way you are coming to us tonight or tomorrow or yesterday, whichever day you're in. We're glad you're with us, and it's good to be here. We didn't know if we was going to get to do one this week for you guys or not. Ben's is traveling, and he's out of town again, and here I am working hard, trying to get everything done, and but good to be here. Good for episode 61. 61. Can you believe
Yeah.
it? We have done over 52 episodes of this for you guys listening pleasure. Uh,
Yeah.
we're glad and happy for each one of you pocket pals that are with us.
Yeah, I don't know about for their watching pleasure because, you know.
Hey, it's always watching pleasure. Definitely listening pleasure. We'll try to tickle your ears a little bit this go around and give you some tidbits information. Again, like I said, it's been kind of an interesting week. I did end up selling something pretty decent this week.
All
So
right,
you
good
and I
deal.
always talk about putting
Yeah.
it out there,
Yeah.
and sold the Kincaid painting. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, Picker Pass is definitely something you need to go listen to and watch on our shows because you hear us talk about art is a wonderful. Well, you just get something leaves, but it is a great investment. But it doesn't sell quickly. I've had that Kincaid for what going on about 7 months now, Ben's about
Yeah,
seven
something
months.
like that.
Yeah,
Is that
so
the one
it's
you
it.
almost sold the other day?
Yeah, and then it didn't sell because that happens. We've
Hmm.
talked about that before. And now it sold. It finally sold. It shipped out. It's on its way. It should have delivered today, but we'll see. Did learn a couple things about that. We'll talk about things we learned. But I mean, I made pretty good money on it.
Good
Made pretty
deal.
good after fees and shipping and everything. Cleared $57. So not
Including
too
your
bad.
cost? Including the cost of the item or no? The
No,
$57.
no, that's $57 after. No,
Okay.
that's
So
that.
you still made
So if you take
$30 profit.
Yeah, so I made roughly $31 profit, or what is it? No,
57 minus 26, 31.
20. I don't think so. I think it's 21.
No, no, no. 31. Look, you give away
31.
10
You're
bucks.
right.
I'll take the 10 bucks. You're giving away 10 bucks.
You're right. You're right. 31. Ladies and gentlemen, math is not so good here lately.
I can't spell, but I'm good with the numbers.
It's $31. So I did double, made half again or twice against what
Yeah.
I spent. So that's always good. Art is a great thing, but don't count on it selling quickly. There again, you want to see things that sell quickly or things that don't sell at all. Watch our pick or pass episodes. You're definitely going to want to see those. But yeah, I sold that. I told Benz, I was like, hey, I sold that painting, my one item for the week. And he was like, I told him how much I made, and he said, hey, you like tripled what you normally make per week.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, well, I only sold one thing. I said, but that's 3 weeks worth of sales. That's great.
Yeah.
You can take next 2 weeks off.
I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the thing, and I'm learning this rule of thumb, and this is one thing you really need to pay attention to. We talk about heavy on pick and pass. I know I keep harping on that, but the sell through rate is incredible. It really plays a big role. Higher dollar items play a big role too. But the big thing I'm learning is you're going to sell approximately one thing per week with an average sell through rate. You're gonna sell one thing a week per 100.
Hmm.
So if you want to sell one thing a week, put 100 items out there. Keep a
Yeah.
hundred items out there. Keep it going. Keep your listings and your sell similars going, and you're going to sell one a week per 100. If you want to sell two things, you need to go what? It's pretty easy
200?
math. Yeah, it's pretty easy math on that, and that's an average
I'm
sell
a
through rate.
genius.
So Ben's is still working towards his 5,000 items, and I'm still working towards my 620. But it's again two different philosophies. Won't go into that. But I did sell it, so that was awesome. We need to talk about some new items we want to get sold. But other than that, what did you sell this week? I know you've been on vacation, but I know you've still been selling.
I know I have, and I'm in the middle of a counter offer. So yeah, on one of
Oh,
those cars.
really? I thought you said never offer or never counter offer. You used to say that all the time. You didn't waste your time counter offering. But I've sold a lot on it, and I maybe have changed your mind here lately.
You know what? If I get an offer that's respectable, so this is one of the, I forget which car it is, but I just hit the thing. It was like a $70 car, and they came in with $45. Yeah, I went back with it was $74.95. I went back with 65. He just came back with 55. I just sent him 60. So hopefully we can meet there. Or I should have probably took the 55.
There are some guys you're going to meet who I've met them. They live for that.
Yeah,
And
they
one
love
guy
the dicker. I love the
we
dicker.
went back and forth the whole 5 because now eBay does offer limit you. What is it? 5 back and forth, I think.
Yeah.
And we did the whole 5 back and forth before he did accept. It literally came down to me saying, "Hey, let's go here. It's 22 cents. Make me feel like I got a good sale."
Yeah.
And he and he took it and responded with ha ha ha. So I mean,
Yeah.
but
So I've been on vacation
over a week.
9 days, and I'm continuing to be on vacation until Friday. So right now, I have 17 items sold. So that's not bad for being on vacation. But
I'm just curious, how many items do you actually have total? Well,
right
I mean,
now, I have listed 2021.
okay.
I got
And
382 set up to go. So I'll be, by the end of the week, be at 2,400.
so you're and going with what we said earlier, average, what I said, average sell through rate. So you've got 20 right at 2,000, and you sold 17 things while on vacation.
Yeah.
So another quick thing that I want to know, while you're on there, and let's just keep this talking so we don't have to cut it out. What is your feedback number? Because I know you're at 100%. What's your feedback number?
My feedback number, how many feedbacks I have? 348.
348.
Yep.
So there's another thing that plays heavy into it as well, ladies and gentlemen. The higher that feedback rating gets, and you want that 100%, because if it even gets down to 97, you're going to start to lose sales. So stay at that 100%, do what you're supposed to do, but the higher you get, the more that's going to help. If I was to go on vacation right now, I would be willing to bet I'm probably not going to sell even my one per week that I'm looking for right now. I'm probably not going to sell it. He's sitting at 348. He's on vacation. He's got 100% positive. They know they're going to get the item, see it, they want it, they go ahead and buy it. They're willing to wait for it because they can count on the 348. They can count on 100% positive, and they know they're getting a fair price. So
I sent an email to everybody that bought something and said, hey, hopefully you saw I was on vacation. I'll be back. I'm going to ship it next Friday night, and I'll put it in the mail on Saturday morning, guaranteed.
and they can count on
Most
that
of them
because of
said,
reputation.
yeah, I saw it, or I understand. Except for a person that bought a black toner. And they keep sending me a thing that says, hey, send the tracking. And every time I tell them, yeah, we're not going to ship it till this date. I'll send you the tracking after that. Then, like 2 days later, send me the tracking. I don't understand it.
You might get bad feedback on that, brother.
Yeah,
But
I might.
I think you can go to eBay and raise a question on that.
I
I
don't
mean,
think. And it's a return buyer who bought it from me before. So I believe they are a reseller because the $100, it's a $300 thing. I'm willing to get $100 out of it because I know it'll sell quick. So I think they're buying it and drop shipping it
I hadn't thought about that.
because it's going to not the person's name. It's going to and I'm going to go back and look at the other one they bought. It's going to a different address. I went back and looked at the other one they bought, and it's going to a different address and a different name.
So they're
I think,
feeling pressure to get
yeah,
it out. Yeah.
yeah, I think they bought it and then weren't paying attention. And they could, and I told them, I said, you're more than welcome to cancel it if it's not quick enough, but I won't be back till this date. They've never really responded to me other than to say, send me the tracking, send me the tracking, send me the tracking. The other people I sent notes to, they're like, "Oh yeah, I understand." And then somehow my wife accepted she's on the account too because CJ Ben's fine. Somehow she accepted an offer that I wouldn't have accepted. I'm like, but all right, whatever. A $10
Low ball
item,
offer.
$2.50. Yeah, okay. We're gonna make like
Oh, okay.
80 cents off that damn thing because it's media mail shipping, and you don't make any money on media mail. So, my gosh, by the time you
Honey,
spend the fees, yeah,
honey, really?
it's all right.
You,
You know what? I
you,
can't complain.
you owe
She's at
me.
least she's taking an interest. That's what I think.
That is true. That is true. She's taking an interest, initiative. So hey, good job.
Yeah.
So you sold 17 things. So
Yep.
what's your clear so far while being on vacation?
Uh,
I mean, so you can't tell a total.
I'm looking to see what it would cost to do the bulk labels, so I can subtract that from it to tell you what I'm going to make.
Ah, you're going to try to look up. So try to give us a close to a net or whatever
Yeah,
that
exactly.
you got. Okay.
Man, you're on fire today, man. Yeah.
I'm just trying
Like,
to keep it
what are you, a
rolling.
moron? You can't tell me?
Trying to keep it rolling, getting into CEO mode. Hopefully, gonna get this promotion at work. So, trying to get in management mode. Where you at? What's your numbers? Where you at? What's your numbers? That's gonna have to start saying again. Where you at? What's your numbers? All the time. You guys who listen are
$75 for the shipping, just showing the last 7 days.
and you've been on vacation for 9 days. But yeah, that's the way it does. So, what have you done the last 7 days? I won't include all 17, but
The last
uh,
7 days, $249. I mean, 500 bucks.
$500. That probably paid for your vacation.
Yeah.
Of course, technically you're not on vacation, you're working, but
Oh yeah.
so which we've talked about. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that you're working your butt off, and you got your walking papers from your company shutting down.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew that was coming, but I don't mind. I come out here and help, and then I'll be back for the last month in the building. My boss, who's leaving the company as well, possibly. There might be positions for us. We don't know yet, but he's going to go run another building because someone has vacation for 3 weeks. So I won't get to travel again. So it's kind of nice to be here one last time.
Enjoying Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet it. I bet it's hot as balls.
Well, that's why I got in here. My pants are soaking wet. Yeah, not just the balls. Like first place sweats on me is the back of my knees. I don't know what the hell's going on there. That's when you know you're a fat man when your knees sweat first, because they're like shaking with all the gut holding it up and everything.
You got to be
Yeah.
careful being a fat man these days. There is a there. Apparently, my wife loves that show Big Brother, and apparently there's a girl on there this season who she likes the chubby fellas. I mean, that's what she keeps saying. She says, if he don't have any flubba, I don't love him. I was
Well, see, I
like,
did it wrong. When I was younger, when AIDS was a thing, I was skinny. If I'd have been fat then, you'd have been good because they were like, hey, he know he got the AIDS because he's chubby. So I'm just saying. Back then I was thin. Or I ain't never been thin.
anyway, so what have we learned? I can tell you one thing I've learned from you being on vacation because we had sort of figured that you going on vacation this long, you wouldn't really sell that much.
I didn't think I was going to sell anything, honestly, and I don't know why I am. But a lot of it is cards because they're still popping out, and then the card pops out that wasn't there before, and they're picking them up like $2 to $4. I think that's kept my account alive because it's kept me putting stuff out, and then I think that's kept me in the algorithm. Keep doing two a day, two a day.
You and I were actually betting that you would sell nothing. But what you did before you left was you put it on auto list.
Yep,
You loaded your stuff, you scheduled it up so it's still listing, even on your vacation, and you still managed to make $500
yep,
in the week that you're on vacation. And they're sitting there going, hey, I don't care that you're going to ship it a week late.
yeah,
17 things. I think that's incredible, man, that you're on vacation and you're still
yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, and I just got into. I mean, we're doing this a little late in the evening, and on a different day because Sunday I was out of loop, and then I just been busy all week. And then today we were going to do it, and then we ended up pushing it to 11 because I ended up staying at the building until 10 to help out because someone called out. And you know what? I'm glad I'm here. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm glad I can help when I can. So we'll see what
So
happens.
what else? What else have we learned? I mean, I've learned something. What have you learned? I've learned something else, but what have you learned? You learned anything?
I learned that consistently having stuff show up will consistently get you sales. It's not going to, like, if I would have had 25 really good items, I probably would have had better sales because I probably would have sold some of those items. It's kept my store going. So probably out of the 17, 7 are cards. The other 10 were my other stuff. So it's kept it alive and in the zeitgeist of people looking for stuff on eBay. So that, even though I'm only listing cards, I think it's still helping. I don't think it's the same thing like if I was listing better stuff.
Yeah, but you've not been now. This question I just a minute. Let's examine that. You've not been listing every day. You scheduled this stuff,
Yeah, yeah, no, I
so
scheduled it
it.
out. I'm scheduled out for the 3 weeks. Before I left, I was good for 3 weeks. Gone for 2 weeks, and then next week I'm gone for a week. I'll have to do some pictures and stuff while I'm home to finish out, and then get some good stuff up. I think I'm good through the 30th, 31st, if there's a 31st in this month. But
Yes.
the first of next month, I got to, so I'll be gone through the 4th, I think. So I need to go ahead and get 4 more days worth of stuff.
Sweet. Yeah, because you're going to the 127.
Yes, I'm
So
going to the 127. I'll be there all by myself. I got an extra ticket, so if you want to go and you couldn't get a ticket, I got one. So just, hit me up.
hit up CJ Ben's
DJBensFinds at
Finds.
gmail.com.
Hit him up. He's got one because I'm not going to be able to go because I only accrued 2 days of PTO, and my wife wants to spend those on us. So I'm going to be doing that, spending
I
that
don't blame you.
with the wifey. Going to get to see the son a little bit and spend some time with the daughter and not have to work. Still going to be worried because I'm finding out these days I can't leave work in my mind even though I get home. It's kind of crazy. I also hate this crap because now I wake up literally at 6:30 every morning. This is absolutely insane. I've never had a wake up pattern before in my life, and now I have suddenly, after 6 months of doing this or 5 months of doing this, I think it's almost 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm now having a habit of waking up before my alarm. This absolutely blows, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ready to get my eBay so it's full time because I'm tired of this crap.
Because you
Um,
don't want to get up early.
I don't want to get up early. I don't want to get up early
I
at
know
all.
you like to stay up late like me. One of the jobs that I got, I've been doing interviews, looking for a job. I got a couple of them that I'm on the second interview with one and the third interview with another. So one of them is a 3 to midnight.
Wow, that'll be different.
Yeah, but I mean, and thinking about it, it'd be really great to the tr- the time frame in which I would travel. There'd be nobody. So instead of an hour home every day, it'll be 28 minutes.
That's true. That
Yeah,
is true.
I'm a night guy. I've never worked a second shift or a later shift. I mean, I have helping out, but never like my set shift.
I used to love second shift. I hated third shift.
Yeah,
I
third
don't
shift
know
is hard.
why. I don't like third. You're like a cat on third shift. All you do is wake up and eat and work and go back to sleep. I mean, that's really all you do is eat, sleep, and work if you're third shift. But at least that's the way it was for me. You guys and gals that work third shift and love it. Hey, my hat's off to you. I just seem to flow better on the 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. shift,
Yeah,
but I've only had that a couple times in my life. Anyway, the one thing let's kick over gears because the one thing I really want to get across that I learned this week. Okay, so I had been listing all of my stuff. Ground Advantage, it seemed to be a great program. But with all the stuff that's happened with FedEx, here's what I ended up learning this week. Part of the reason that my paintings and my heavier items have not been selling here lately has been, I think, due to the USPS. I've actually gone and changed my heavier items now over to offering, but I went and changed all my stuff over to UPS. It's more convenient. It's literally right across from my work. I don't even have to drive down the street. Literally just go across the street to drop it off. So I'm probably going to switch everything to UPS. But here's what I learned. USPS, the United States Postal Service, because they were piggybacking on FedEx, and then they had that big disagreement that we brought up in the news bits here, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
And so what has happened is anything above a 12 by 12 cube. So if you're talking a foot, a cubic foot, anything 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches, anything over that, and it doesn't have to be in all three dimensions. Any one of those dimensions blows out more than 12 inches. It shoots up astronomical on USPS. If it gets over 5 pounds, it shoots up astronomically when you start getting up that way. And I've been trying to find the exact kind of thing, been playing around with it. I've not yet. So just bear with us, ladies and gentlemen, as I play with these numbers on this stuff. But I do know 5 pound is kind of one of the marks, semi sort of somewhere around there. Could be 4, could be 7, could be 8. I'm trying to find 5 pounds, in other words, is kind of a guide measure right now. So I went and changed, and I actually shipped the painting UPS, and it was significantly cheaper. US, but they're not set up to really handle the large packages. So I was actually able to cut the rate almost in half, not quite, but about 2/3 of the ship rate by shipping USPS. So I hope I got all that across to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of a long explanation. I promise I will try to find the exact weight for you where the price break happens at, and where it's better to go to FedEx than USPS or better to go to UPS. But that's kind of what I learned was I needed to do that because it brings my shipping down. I'm still making money a little bit off shipping because of, playing with the weight a little bit, trying to make sure that I've got it packaged right, all that stuff. So I always add in a little additional there because I never know, it might go over. Because like on this painting, I did end up making some cardboard cups to go around the corners because I didn't want I wanted the corners to be more protected. So I wrapped it in bubble wrap, doubled over, and then cut some cardboard to go around it. Ben's has got a great thing on how to make a box. Very similar style what I did, but I just didn't make the box. I just basically cut it so that it would fit around the corner and taped it. It does tend to make it a little heavier doing stuff like that. So play with the weight a little bit. I always add in a little additional, but it did save a lot of money by actually going UPS. And I think it's better because they'll actually deliver it, make sure it gets delivered to the customer's door rather than maybe just dropping it off their mailbox. Because I don't know, Benz, have you had any packages ever just dropped off the mailbox? I have too, and you get a picture of it sitting down there or sitting at your mailbox.
No, not in my complex. I mean, at the mailbox, there's little boxes. They're up to like 1 foot by 18 inches by 1 foot deep. If it doesn't fit in there, they bring it to my door and set it at the door. So
Oh no, my postal service will just set it. They will literally
yeah, but I don't live out in bumfuck. I
just.
mean,
Well, I'm not either. I'm in the middle of High Point, North Carolina. Not like I'm out in BFE. I'm not
well,
out in
it's
the
not like
middle of
your
the
your
country.
your driveway's 3 miles long.
Right. They'll do that. FedEx, UPS, Amazon, they all pretty much bring it to the door. Now, they may not get the right door,
Yeah,
but they will pretty much bring it to the door. But USPS, it depends on the mail carrier I've got that day as whether it gets to my door or it's just set out down to mailbox. So, but that's what I learned is there is some differences now. So pay close attention to that. Your heavier items, you definitely want to go to look and see which is going to be cheaper because here's the thing: you're competing against other people with the same item.
yeah.
And if somebody else has got a whole lot cheaper shipping rate because they're using the right carrier and you haven't paid attention, you're not going to get to sell.
There you go.
So that's one thing I learned.
All right. So I got some news.
Well, are we ready for news or should we talk about items?
Oh, sourcing.
Well, we can talk about sourcing. I want to talk about items. I like putting items out there. We do that mind thing where we talk about items
Yeah,
and
because we talked about yours. Yeah.
we talk about items and they sell.
Well, I gotta look at your store. I didn't do that.
No, you don't have to look at my store. I need to sell my hats and my last Funko Pop. I really need to sell my last Funko Pop, ladies and gentlemen. It is what
Your
is it,
last,
Wonder
you sold
Woman?
one of them. I thought you had two left.
Nope. I'm down to the last one. I believe it's Wonder Woman.
Oh, so
I,
you sold the one that was a special one?
oh yeah, Rapunzel. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. She sold like 2 weeks ago.
Well, you
Yeah.
didn't say it on the podcast, did you?
Well, it was my one item.
I guess I don't remember that.
Yes, I want to liquidate my Funko Pops. Wonder Woman. It's in the box. Looks great. It's in great condition. Make me a good offer, and it's yours.
You
eBay.
paid for your Funko Pops with your first sale, right?
Right.
And now you're going to sell the other four and make
I've
money.
already sold 3 of them.
Yeah, and you're getting out of it. So the
Yeah.
one thing if you sold out of, you're like, I'm done. It's your best selling item.
It is not my best selling
It
item.
is your best selling
Still
item.
to this day, my best selling item is women's clothes.
Okay, yeah. Well, we got to break them down to shirts and puffer jackets and
Well,
pants.
that's true. That's true. I mean, you need to get your Funko Pops. You still got like 7 crates of them, the
I
size of
know.
the transfer truck. I mean,
I need to get something going. So hey, check out my cards. I'd like to sell more cards. There you go.
for $4.
But
Hey,
those most expensive
he's
ones,
selling a
$4.
lot more cards than we thought, ladies and gentlemen. He says
Yeah,
only 17 items, but I mean, he's made $500. A lot of cards has been
yeah,
sold.
yeah. So I sold 250 cards.
Cards are too
Now I've been
much.
selling those cars. Have been selling pretty good for me.
Yeah, your diecast cars have been selling
Diecast
pretty good.
cars are doing pretty good. I'm getting ready to do some videos about selling VHS for the channel that I've been working on this week. Haven't finished any of them. I got
So
like
what's
three of them now.
what's your? We really need to start taking up and keeping up with what our oldest item is, really, and try to talk about those. Um, but so you want to sell more cards? What else you want to sell? You been selling? You still has your butt buckles holding up? They still doing well?
I sold three boat buckles in this time frame. I sold three of those cars in this time frame. That's six. Uh, the last decent cartridge I have, I sold that. I even sold some postcards. I sold a pack last week. I sold 2 packs this week. $9.95 for 12 vintage postcard, or it seems to be the price point. Um, so if you're going to sell them, I mean that's my price point. That seems people seem to pick them up, don't ask questions any more than that. They want to know too much stuff about them, and I don't understand how to answer them. Everything else, I just have a little bit of mishmash. Everything.
He really needs to sell some indigenous art to prove
There
the
you
prove
go.
the picker pass wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Please go if you like indigenous art. Please go take a look at his indigenous art. It will look cool on your nightstand or your bookshelf. It'll look cool in your office because people will stare at it instead of staring at you. Accountants should really buy your indigenous art. They don't
Yeah,
like to be looked at. My wife's an accountant. They don't like to be looked at. See?
yeah. So I don't have anything specific to talk about. You're
Well,
supposed to
let's
look at
talk.
my store and ask me questions about something. I'm supposed to look at your
Okay,
store.
we'll go back to
But
doing that. Okay.
you just jumped in. I want to sell my last Funko
I want
Pop.
to sell my last Funko Pop. Come on, help me out. I do have one that's getting ready to be listed here soon. I did come across a belt buckle for a really good deal. I don't normally sell belt buckles. That's Benz's thing. But it's like $100 belt buckle I got for I think like $10. It's a Gravely. It's a special edition Gravely. If you know what Gravely is, it's a used to be a garden tractor, heavy duty lawnmower, commercial lawnmower manufacturer. I don't even know if they're still in business. Maybe they are. I know my grandfather really liked them, but I came across it, sent it to Ben's. Ben's was like, I would buy that if I was you for that price. And I was like, sure. So that's one thing I'm definitely going to be listing here soon that I'd like to see sell because I'd like to see my money come back into me on it.
Yeah,
Um, but definitely the Funko Pop. Ben's would like to sell some more art, some more cards, those kind of things. And he really needs to list more Funko Pops because apparently they do pretty well.
they do.
How many Funko Pops have you actually sold? And let's be honest. How many have you actually sold?
Probably about
You,
30.
about 30. And you own like what, 500?
I don't own 500. I don't have 500 listed. How's that sound?
You don't have 500 listed, but I'll bet you have 500.
I probably do have 500 Funko Pops. I just got to get them out and list them. But I just keep buying stuff and going forward and getting on new tangents. I need to stop buying. And this
Well,
week I
now you
was bored
source
in the hotel. I did some sourcing. I probably shouldn't have done, but
you did source a pretty cool item though. Car cards.
yeah. So the thing is, I was with my wife this weekend. We were out doing a little thrifting, and we found a thrift store that was going out of business. So everything in there was worth $1. Was for sale for $1. Everything. Now it was fairly well picked over, but I'm like, there's always something that somebody hasn't thought of yet. So I started walking around, and I noticed they had a bunch of crocheted baby
Oh,
blankets.
that's right. The baby blankets. Yeah.
So I got 12 baby blankets for $1 a piece. I comped them, and they're from 25 to $35. So that's going to be a good profit. And they seem to have a pretty good sell through rate. I just look quickly, but I'll probably bring them up on the next pick and pass, and we'll know for sure. I'll probably be like, damn it, I wasted $1.
So everything sells eventually.
Yeah, they're going to take up a little more room than my cards, though.
Oh yeah. I remember having an Afghan when I was. That's what we called them, Afghans. Crocheted, knitted blankets,
Yeah.
and they're real. Honestly, when you're sick, they're one of the best things you can have when you're sick as a kid. Because for some reason they'll keep you warm if you're cold and running a fever, and then if you're hot, you won't get too hot being underneath one.
Yeah.
So it's really good, and really used to really make them for babies because babies couldn't get tangled up in them and have what is it called? Oh gosh, it's been so long since my kids were young. The idea was that they didn't create SIDS. That's what it is. They didn't create SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, where they just
Yeah.
basically get tangled up in a blanket or something happens. That it didn't it helped that not happen. Now whether that does, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, but I know that the crocheted Afghans, they have a lot of holes in them, so it's kind of hard to suffocate yourself laying under one of those because there's a hole like every other square inch. So, but that's cool, man. So you pick those up for $1, and they normally sell for around 25 to 30. So that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Source
Being in my hotel room, I did a lot of sourcing on Shop Goodwill. Even
after
though
you hate them,
I hate them, but I found this. So these are
yeah,
vintage cards of cars. Now I looked them up on eBay. There's a couple people selling them between $3 and $5 per car, and then some a little more if they're more um, like the Plymouth Barracuda. I don't know that they're any more rare, but people might want them more. So that was kind of neat. I got that for $9.95 and then $10 worth of shipping.
real man cave type stuff. I mean, it
Yeah,
really is. That's kind of something you can frame, put in your man cave. Yeah, it's a real good size too, because I do a lot of my Harley posters. I'm into the blueprints kind of stuff, and buying frames that are safety frames. You always want safety frames in a man cave, ladies and gentlemen. Safety frames are the key. If you're going to be doing any drinking in there and you're not going off the wall, you don't have to deal with glass trying to pick it up because it's basically plastic. If you got a workshop or anything like that, my man cave doubles as both. Send cjbensfinds at gmail.com the
yeah.
car, your favorite car of all time. He'll look through it. He'll see if he's
See if I
got it.
got.
He'll send you back a message.
I got this one too. It's just random cards, like all different kinds of like Thundercats, Trolls, some Mork and Mindy
Thundercats.
in
Wow.
there, Little
I haven't
Mermaid,
heard that in a while.
Mad magazine cards, and some Spy versus Spy. These are on eBay, and I don't have a whole lot of solds, but the Spy versus Spy, they seem to sell for around $6 a card. So just
It's
that little
pretty good for a
section.
card. It's
So I
pretty good
paid
for a
$19 for that whole 22-pound box, and then shipping is going to cost me about $43. But there seem to be a lot of really good. I don't know if they're good cards, but they're different cards, and I've noticed that I want to try to get into that. I know my
so
wrestling cards have sold really well, and then looking at the different like I don't really want to learn that much about baseball and football, and I don't want to spend that much time on it. Even though I have got 60,000 baseball cards, I got to list at some point.
my
I do want to keep this card thing going, so I'm listing 25 cards today, but I want to mix it up. So not just have sports cards. I've been looking at non-sports cards. I bought that, and I bought some other non-sports cards thing. I got a whole box of Dick Tracy cards still in the packs. I got some wrestling cards still in the packs. I got Elvis cards still in the packs. So I'm thinking I'm going to do. You ever been on TikTok and you're going through, and there's somebody like opening a pack of cards?
yeah.
I'm gonna do that with really random weird things. I got some finesse, and I got some nudie cards. Like hand drawn, not like nudie, like tasteful drawn nude.
So here's what I'm hearing, Christy. If you're watching this, when Benz goes out of town, you need to take his credit cards away from him because he does not need to be sitting here sourcing on the computer.
It was all good prices though, right? I don't need it though. I shouldn't have been. I agree. But I was like,
What are
I've been
you?
looking. All I bought was
He's
non.
doing girl. You see, he's
Yeah,
doing girl math, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing girl math. It was on sale. If you didn't
wasn't
buy
that
it, you're
bad.
gonna lose money.
I mean, if I wouldn't have bought it, I've been losing money. So
Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Sourcing gets addictive. It
it
does
is. It
because
is, and I haven't been able to buy on Goodwill in a long time. I finally got that straightened out, and I got overly excited. And then I was like up like one night, like 2 o'clock in the morning, waiting for this one thing to go off. and I was like, thought I was going to get it, and then it went nuts. It went. It was a box of cards that had it was baseball cards and football cards, but it was like all the hollows and some like the ones with the little pieces of the uniforms, all the good cards that I never see. And it was like $29 forever. And then I figured just at the stuff I could look at, if I spent $300 on it, I'd still be double my money. Plus, that's only 10% of the cards. I thought I
What
was
did
gonna
you
get
end
it
up
for like
going for?
$600.
Good Lord.
It went for what? Yeah, it went for what I thought it was worth, not what selling it worth, not
Right. But
buying it.
what it was worth retail. Sourcing this week, too. In fact, my wife wanted to kill me today when FedEx dropped the box off and we were on the phone. And I was like, well, it says a signature required. Please go out there. They didn't do signature. They just dropped it off. But she was like, what is in this box? I
Yeah,
didn't
wait
have
till
the
my
heart.
wife. So this stuff I ordered it this week. You know how Goodwill is. They're like 7 days before they ship it. I'll
Right.
be I'll be at the 127 spending money, and boxes will just be showing up. Like there's like 7 packages. And I bought the thing that I bought last week.
She's
I
going to
got some
kill you.
really cool war pictures, like of Vietnam. I think it's Vietnam or Korea. I'm not sure, but I
Yeah, I
got
think it might be both. You showed them to
yeah
me. If you are into military art or nostalgic pictures, I mean, these pictures he showed them to me. You don't put them on the screen. I want them
no
to
no
go to your store and look at them. Ladies and gentlemen, even if you're not into it, you need to go look at these pictures. We'll update you when they get listed because here's the thing. They are literally like journalistic, like Time magazine type
yeah
photos from the looks like possibly Korea War, Vietnam War, because we're looking at the way that the helicopters are. We're looking at the um, clothing style. He and I were really getting into it, looking at it, going, "Wait a minute, look at this one. This uniform looks
yeah.
like it was probably Korea."
It was
And
by
I
accident I even ran across it because it wasn't. Usually, I see stuff like that on there, and it goes for a lot of money. But it was classified as articles instead of photos. So it was classified as articles. So I think if someone has, they probably have things set up. Me, I'll just keep scrolling and scrolling. And the reason that I even found that is because I bought something else from that Goodwill, and you can get up to 20 pounds in a box. So whenever I buy something that is under 20 pounds, I look to fill out the box because if it's a 10-pound item, it's not that much more to get a 20-pound. It doesn't cost you that much more, the shipping. So I usually try to fill out the box. So I bought one thing there, and I still needed like 5 pounds, and that was it's not 3 pounds worth of stuff, but it was 3 pounds, so I could put it with it. So,
right,
and then I was doing that same thing with those pictures. That's how I ended up with those Dick Tracy things because they were only like $6.99. I'm like, oh, let's get them, and then not pictures, but the cars. And then when I went to combine them, they had put those cards with the cars shipped by itself. I'm like, ah. So now I bought something that was 2 pounds. Then I ended up buying three more things from them so I could fill up the 20 pounds.
well, I mean, but I think it worked out. Those are I'm really impressed with those. But
Yeah.
that's the thing. You got to look for stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Sourcing does get addictive. I mean, now my wife has me limited to only spending basically off of my account,
Mine
but
was the same way. If I don't have sale, like I didn't have sales hardly at the beginning of this year. Like last year, she was like, I don't know, and then it took off, and I was doing good every week, couple $100, $500 a week, $500 a week, and on her phone she does feedback. She's like, there's a lot of feedback all of a sudden. I'm like, yeah, now there's a whole lot of feedback, and I don't think she's realized that 30% of it is $2 cards that we're making 80 cents on, but it's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. So she's like, oh, this is good. I'm like, yeah,
that's the thing. So I will give you a hint. We just went to like Capital One. It's no big deal. Set up a checking account, personal checking account. Everything goes in there, and what I spend, I've got a debit card off of that checking account, and I spend that for sourcing. I mean, so it kind of works out. In a couple months, I've been able to make my Capital One credit card payment with that checking account, which works out great. But here lately, she's like, "You spending everything you get on there right now, huh?" And I'm like, "Well, I've got this idea. I'm trying to get to the 620. Set up a separate checking account. Set up a separate, do something separate so that you're not spending your rent money
yeah,
on
yeah. Don't
doing
spend money you
this."
need because
Yeah.
it can take. I mean, I've spent a lot of money.
Well,
But I
you can get
spent all the money
addicted
I
to it,
made.
right? Right. You can get
Even
addicted
that
to it.
stuff I bought this week, it's not, it didn't come out of my checking account. It didn't go on a credit card. It's from my proceeds. But at some point, I need to stop spending every dime I make, and that's the problem I
Well,
run into. Is I spend every dime I make, and I already have too many dimes already.
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if something happens to Ben's, we're going to be able to get a real deal with Christie on the resale items.
Yeah, she'll give it to you. All you gotta do is run a U-Haul, a big one. Take two storage units, everything in the garage. You get a $500,000 worth of stuff. You can quit working.
Yeah, he's not. He's doing job interviews.
I am because I'm so afraid to not have a job. I've had a job since I'm 8 years old. I've always had a job, and I've always had a
Oh,
side hustle.
well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and toss in some news here for them because we promise them news every time. So let's give them some news, and we promised them we'd get a little music, but we'll deal with that later, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you, it is coming. We'll do the little news music for you. But what have we got on the news front for eBay?
All right. So remember how we talked about the cyberstalking case against
Mm-hmm.
eBay, and you didn't know anything about it, right?
I didn't.
So one of the articles is about the sentences from that this week. So
Really?
just to give you a quick rundown of what it
So
was,
it has
right?
really gotten serious. It really
Oh
has
no,
gotten
it's serious. I
serious.
mean, it's major serious. So there's a website out there which I get some news off of, and it's a really good website. It's called E-commerce Bytes, right? It's basically a newsletter or a blog that this couple has that talks about selling stuff online. Well, in August of 2019, they started getting threatening messages sent to them just from random accounts they couldn't track. And then they started getting stuff in the mail, including live insects, a bloody pig mask, a funeral wreath, a book about on surviving the loss of a spouse. Also, sent to their neighbor's house address with their name on it was a box of pornographic stuff. That's awesome, man.
Holy crap! There were some
Right? So they did
crazy
all this to him
people out
between
there.
August of 2019 and August of 2020. And then
There,
they went to the cops and said, "Hey, this is going on." And it turned out it was people at eBay. So that's the gist of it.
the company or resellers?
No, eBay, the company.
Oh wow! Holy moly! Okay. Oh,
So
okay.
they were upset about what they were writing about eBay on their blog and their newsletter that was going out to other people, and they were calling out things that eBay was doing wrong, and it upset these managers. So this week, the latest prosecution got done for the
Okay.
former senior manager of special operations for eBay Global Security, Brian Gilbert, 56, of San Jose, California. He got time served because he's been in jail for up till this point, and 1 year of supervised release, and a $20,000 fine. Other people that were charged was this Jim Bly, Baugh, Blythe. I'm not good with that. He was a senior director of security and safety at eBay. Got 57 months in prison.
Different dude. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you want a Mel Bloody pig mask? Oh, let me show you a bloody mask." They,
David Harville, former director of global resiliency, was sentenced to 24 months. Stephanie
oh,
Pop, senior manager of global intelligence, got 12 months. Philip Cook, senior manager of security operations, got 12 months.
so
Stephanie
what is?
Stockwell, former manager of global intelligence, was sentenced to 1 year in home confinement.
Excuse me. So what is this doing? I mean, I guess these people have all been replaced at eBay by now, their positions, because they've been in prison, you
Yeah,
know, under arraignment or whatever you want to call it for
yep.
a while. But wow, I mean,
So
just wow.
eBay, they got, there was a big thing, government got involved, this, that, and the other. They're having to change a bunch of different rules around what they do as a company. And I think for 2 years they're going to be a special investigator watching everything they're doing. And then after that, and then they got fined. The maximum amount was like $3.5 million, something like that.
Good Lord. No wonder they've upped their fees.
Yeah. So just
Because
that
that
came. I
got
think that was
passed
the
on to
last
us.
person. I think that's the last person that needed to prosecute it, and that's all said and done. But that's a crazy thing. If you want to know more about it, I didn't go in depth. I just gave you the highlights. There's a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of messages they sent. They did a lot of crazy things. And from what I understand, it was them saying, "Oh, they didn't like what this person was doing, so they were just screwing with them." So you can't do that as a major corporation.
You can't do that. You shouldn't do that even as a person. I mean,
No.
that's some real weirdo. But anyway, so okay. Well, what's next? Is there another
Okay.
news?
Stock up on your tubes because the USPS box that looks like a triangle that was free for Priority and Next and Express, they are discontinuing that. So if you can
Really?
get some, you can get them now and hold on to them. But they are discontinuing that. They will no longer be giving away free boxes. And I think I sold like one golf club and I used that for it. But I quit
Wait a minute.
using that.
So they're not going to give away the tubes, or they're not going to give away free boxes at all?
No, just that one that's shaped like a triangle that was like 36 inches long or whatever it was.
I mean, let
Yeah.
me. So they're doing away with the tube and the triangle. The round tube and the triangle one they're doing away with.
No, it's not a tube. It's the one. It's you need to buy tubes now because you can no longer get that triangle box.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. I read an article about eBay survey that they sent out for people, but the weird twist was they wanted you to give a 3-minute video of yourself, talking about your business. Um, so if you got one of those, I didn't get one. Sellers were posting them online, asking, thought they might have been some kind of scam, but really, eBay's asking people to do video surveys for them so they can see how they're doing as a company. So that was interesting.
We
What?
got time for one more.
All right. Etsy's Depop shifts from sellers paying the fees to buyers paying the fees. So they're doing what
Hmm.
Macari did. I can't sell
That's
on
gonna be
Depop because I'm banned for life. I'm a troublemaker. But
that's gonna
I thought
be
that was
interesting.
interesting news. And Macari just came out with a thing this week, just talking about how they're not leaving the market and they're going to still be in America, even though they're Japanese based. They have no intentions of leaving because I think a lot of people were thinking I was kind of thinking that it was going out, but they're going to be here for a while, is what they're saying.
They're just trying to figure out different ways, just like everybody else, just like we are. We're trying to figure out different ways what we need to do to sell more. They're trying to figure it out too, and that's basically what I got because I did see a blurb on that on Macari, and I think they're just playing with it. And the reason they're able to is they actually have made some money. They can kind of play with it to see what's going to catapult them to the next level because everybody is chasing the eBay and Amazon giants. Even Walmart now, we talked about that in one news article. Things are changing.
They're
So
starting to sell
yeah,
resale stuff.
everybody, if you're buying on eBay and you get positive feedback from the seller to you, it actually raises that number too.
Yeah.
So just giving you a little, just a little nugget, a little nuggy as now is it Wendy's is calling it nuggies.
But you
Um,
notice that their commercials now, Wendy's talk, it's their Wendy's skit. Their commercial, the music is from Workaholics. They must have called Nuggets, Nuggies on there. I never watched that show, but once or twice, and
that's the
it was
new kid slang to call it. The
yeah,
Generation Z calls them nugs,
Nuggies.
nugs or nuggies. I
Yeah.
mean, so and it probably came from some mom saying, "Oh, you want your nugs or you want your nuggies?"
Hey guys, thanks a lot. Next week, I mean, this will come out this week. Next week, we'll probably just have the pick and pass. We're going to try to get another one of these, but we'll at least have one episode of pick and pass for next week.
That's
All
right.
right.
So make sure though, because you don't know with Ben's being on vacation and traveling, you don't know he may get some. I'm dropping a hint here. You may get some live sourcing.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, and hit that little bell, ding, 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 because you don't want to miss a live opportunity to see Ben sourcing in action.
Yeah, we'll
So
see. I'm definitely going to take my GoPro, which I've never done yet. But I've got three of them, so I'm ready to go. I'm going to have one on the head, one on the hip, one on the tit. That's my plan. Get all different kinds of angles on it. Like, what? That guy's a weirdo. It'll be like one of those. Remember those old time like one man bands? Ding, 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 boom, and Corn. Yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
me. All right. Thank you
Well,
guys for watching. Have a great week. See you
thanks,
next week.
guys.
Bye.